What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Awesome Show. Today we're looking at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Wave 2 of the Target exclusive Tiger Force and Python Patrol figures. So in this wave, we've got Bazooka and Recondo, part of the Tiger Force for the Joes. And then for Python Patrol, we have a Python Patrol officer, so just a Cobra officer, but with the Python Patrol design. So these all look really cool for this wave. I think the two Joes look really cool, different and unique, and then of course just another officer. But then with this wave, we do also have the Duke with Ram Cycle to look at. So Duke with Tiger Force, and then the Ram Cycle colors that we can see down there. So that looks pretty cool as well. So we have 4 figures in the Ram Cycle to look at today. So I'm excited to check these out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Tiger Force Bazooka, and if you don't remember, Tiger Force is just a subgroup within the G.I. Joes that tend to use yellow and green colors with tiger stripes for designs. So we have Bazooka here in that design, as you can see, especially there on his pants, but his real name is David Katzenbagen, and he's a former tank driver that became an expert missile specialist, so of course how he has the name Bazooka, and overall looks pretty cool here. So he's a bigger, bulkier guy, like bigger, thicker, and all sorts of stuff, and then just it looks directly out of the 80s with like that mustache, and then of course has like the football jersey on, so just reminds me of like the Bears and stuff, the 80s Bears, even though I know that's not the team, but just that's what that reminded me of, just like the SNL the Bear skip. So that's what that just reminds me of. But overall looks pretty cool here, like I said, with that football jersey. Of course has the shorter haircut with the nice hair all combed over and stuff, so looks very military-ish with that mustache as I mentioned. And then he's got the tiger stripe pants, so the green pants with the yellow stripes there for the tiger design, some green bands around the wrist, and then boots there on his feet that look pretty decent there, and brown, and a belt around his waist as well. So overall looks pretty decent, looks pretty simple and basic and stuff, but overall not bad at all. So he looks pretty cool. Now for movements, we get the head that can twist around, and yeah, it feels like it's gonna be hard to twist his actual head around. It's kind of stiff in there, but can twist around. And then of course, as you saw, the actual neck can twist around there as well with the lower neck joint. And then he can look down that far and up that far again with both of those joints working together. The shoulders can come up to 90 with the butterfly joint that just moves back and forth a little. It's not too much, but can rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend. It's pretty stiff, and we actually had a bit of issues with these figures, but it can bend up that far, so almost all the way up on itself. And the wrist can twist around and flex up and down for this hand. We have the ab crunch in the middle, so he can crunch back and forth and twist around. And of course at the waist as well, where he can crunch back and forth, mostly back on this one, which is kind of weird. So back there and can twist around there. The hips can come up to 90 and out to the side, so they got the drop down hips, so you got to push them back up in there. A thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot can flex, which it's really stiff. And like I said, we had a lot of issues with this figure, and so yeah, I can get it to flex back and forth there, which is really stiff, and then can twist side to side. So we had issues like with that, so the stiffness of the boot, and then like it seems like the legs are kind of like separating apart, so they have a lot of separation and feels pretty weak. Had issues with the knees, but yeah, we just had a lot of issues and had to heat up a lot of these figures. So it seems like something's happened with G.I. Joes, because I've always praised them before that they've been like figure wise some of the best figures we've gotten, especially at the first couple waves where they started to redo them, and haven't had really any issues with any of the Joes. But this wave we've had a lot of issues, had to, like I said, heat up a lot of figures, get joints unstuck, and they're still really stiff. And then it just seems like they've maybe have switched stuff up. And then with the pictures of the new Falcon that's come out with how horrible his face looks and stuff, it's like seems like something's happened behind the scenes with Joe's, or they've switched factories or something, but something doesn't seem right about him anymore. But overall I like the Bazooka, even though he does have issues. I like his design and stuff, it just looks really cool. But accessory wise, first he comes with a helmet, so he has this helmet. It looks like a nice leather helmet. I assume it's supposed to be army, but just the design it has on it, it looks leather and stuff, or maybe like an old football helmet and stuff, since he's got the football jersey. But we can put that on his head, which sits on there really nice and just adds a nice detail with the pop of color, so it just stands out quite a bit with the red helmet on him there. He has a backpack that's full of rockets, of course, for the Bazooka, for his namesake, and then these you can actually take out, so we can have a little rocket, so we're going to pull that one out. But nice overall design just in green, not a lot of details with color and stuff, but you can see all the pockets and straps and everything in there. And of course he can hold 4 of the rockets, and has a little piece down here at the bottom that we can attach the Bazooka onto to carry it. So we'll just go and pop this right into his back. So looking at this now, it is a little bit weird that he has this that can go onto his back but doesn't have any straps or anything, so it's just like the backpack magnetically attaches to his back or something. But looks pretty cool to have that on there. And then of course we get the Bazooka, or the rocket launcher, which looks pretty cool and has an overall nice design, you know, nice little like shoulder padding here on the side, of course the little grip and the handles there, so you can line up the rockets and shoot it. Looks pretty cool. And I think the back piece opens here, yeah, it can like fold up or something, so you can open that and then take like the missile and stick it down inside there, and it goes all the way in there like that. So you can have it loaded up if you want, or maybe you can even take it and stick it out of the front. So just slide it in there, so it's like it's ready to go there out of the front, which is pretty cool. So nice to have that, and that you can actually put the rockets in there and stuff. And then with this, I think with either the top piece here, it's like a handle, you know, can carry it around with. You can take and then stick this into the back here, so we can easily carry it around. So you can carry it around on the backpack like that, you know, just carry that, or it has the straps that you can obviously put it up over his shoulder and everything. But let's go and just try and put this into his hand. So there's Bazooka with the rocket. So I'm just crouched down on the ground here shooting that. So Bazooka, having the Bazooka is really cool and nice to pose up. Of course, you'd probably get it worked out a little bit better and in a better position than what I have. But overall, it looks pretty cool there with him having that. So awesome to have him to add to the Joe team. And next up, we have the Tiger Force version of Recondo, whose real name is Daniel LeClaire, and he has a jungle trooper specialty. So he ready and loves to survive out in the jungle. And overall, it's really cool to have this because this was actually one G.I. Joe figure my brother had as a kid. So I remember playing with it a lot. And of course, just looking at this brings back so many memories of the Tiger Force version of Recondo here. So really cool to have him. So he's a jungle survivor and stuff. So he has the kind of that look to me, especially like if you've seen like Tarzan movies and stuff. The guys, especially the bad guys, always seem to have the long handlebar mustaches with the little curls and stuff. So awesome that Recondo has it. Looks like he just needs a little like monocle or something on this side to fit in there, but looks pretty cool overall, and it has his nice all slicked back and stuff, of course, for wearing a hat that he comes with, but it's nice all slicked back and it's probably greasy and gross and stuff. But a black shirt with the sleeves all rolled up, of course it's button up shirt with pockets and everything, and it has all these straps around to hold the gun here and the holster, and then also the belt around his waist. And it's cool, you can even see like a little compass there on it and stuff, but that's pretty cool. Then again, the Tiger Force design, so the green pants with the yellow tiger stripes, a thigh holster with like a machete hole and stuff like that, watch around his wrist, so nice awesome watch, and then the boots all the way down his feet, so it looks like brown boots with a green covering over the top. So overall, he looks pretty cool here as well for some jungle survival. So for movements, his head can twist all the way around. So this one, we can see the upper neck joints twist all the way around there and look down that far and up that far. So the lower neck joint feels pretty stiff, doesn't feel like it moves there too well, and would be hard to twist, but it has the movements at least. Shoulders can come up to 90 with the butterfly joint back and forth and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so almost all the way up on itself. The wrist can twist all the way around and flex up and down for this hand. We have the ab crunch in the middle, so it's hard to see, but there's a cutout there, so you can bend forward and bend back, so nice crunching back and forth, and it has a little bit of crunching and twist at the waist. Hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. They can do the splits as usual. Of course, the drop down hips, you gotta pop back up. Thigh twist all the way around. A double knee joint that's really stiff, but with a lot of force, you can get it up that high. So again, another issue here, even though we've heated this up, got it loose, it's still really hard to get it to bend there, especially the upper joint there. So really hard to get that. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot can flex back and forth. Again, real stiff on this, so it can flex. You gotta kind of force though, can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So again, a lot of issue with this, especially like in the leg parts. It's just really stiff, and we had to break stuff loose and it's stiffened back up, and really just hard to get it to work. So like I said, it feels like something's different or off about these G.I. Joes. But overall, it looks cool, and like I said, just because of having that old toy, it just brings back a lot of memories playing with that all the time. But for Recondo, we have a lot of accessories. So first, we have his signature hat. So he has his like safari hat or whatever you want to call it there, with the one side folded up there. So that's pretty cool. So we pop this on his head. So there we have Recondo now, which is pretty cool. And like I said, that's now how the figure looked that I played with as a kid. So really cool to have that. He also comes with a backpack, so of course a survival pack there. He's got a canteen and a bedroll and stuff there at the top, so nice backpack we can pop into his back. And again, at least with this one, he has the straps here, so it makes it seem like he's actually holding his backpack on. And then for weapons, first we get a knife, so his big like machete knife, whatever this sort of knife design is, but looks pretty cool. Nice big blade there, and like I showed earlier, we have the holster here on the side that we can slide it down into, so it just slides in there. It's kind of open pretty much all the way, so it can easily slide in, but nice storage in there. Then he also comes with a pistol, so this little pistol that we can store here right on his chest, so it just slides right in there. And finally, he comes with a rifle, so we have this rifle design. I like how it's got like tape and stuff all over, you know, fits for like someone surviving out in the jungle. Has a magazine you can pull off, so you can remove that if you want, but just stick that back in there. So overall, looks pretty cool. Nice rifle. That seems like it'd fit here well with him, so let's put this in his hand. So there's the rifle in his hand, and overall looks pretty cool there. And of course, with this hat, I forgot to mention you can flip it around either way. I don't really know if it goes on any certain way or what way is the proper way, but I just kind of like it with it over to the left side there, the fold. So overall, that looks pretty cool. Him with his rifle there, now ready to survive out in the jungle, and looks pretty cool and nice to have another figure that to the Joes. And next up, we have the Python Patrol Officer. And again, Python Patrol is an elite unit within Cobra, and they wear specialized uniforms that hide them from electronic detection systems. So that's why they have different colors here of the red and yellow, and tend to have sort of like this cross design and stuff you can see there on his chest. Overall, looks cool. It looks kind of like the Cobra Trooper officers that we've had before, but this time you can see he is a black guy, so he's got the darker skin under there, which is nice to get a variety of people. It'd be nice though if we could have different, ones, and of course you could probably easily just switch these heads out to pop the head off and switch it onto the other Cobra Troopers to make a Cobra Trooper black and stuff. So it'd be cool to switch those heads out for that. But overall, looks pretty nice here with the colors. Of course, it's not that good. I don't really like the Python Patrol too much. Don't really like the colors, but he's got the all black face covering, so the black helmet and face covering there with the V to make him the officer. Again, that red and yellow, so he's got the shirt design. It's almost like a neon yellow with the stripes, Cobra logo there on the chest, and red around the collar. And again, it pretty much just looks like the other Cobra Troopers, just obviously repainted. Some gauntlets there on the hands going into the gloves that have the Cobra logo on it there. Straps around the shoulders going around to the back for the pack, and belt around the waist with all sorts of pockets around there, and black pants going all the way down to the gray boots, and has a thigh holster on it there as well. So not the most striking design, doesn't really stand out as much, at least as like the Tiger Force characters did, but it's still cool to have him because we'll throw him in with the rest of the Python Patrol and hopefully he'll fit in pretty well. But let's do movement. So his head can twist all the way around, and he can look down a little and up a little. Of course, his neck got twisted this side, so it's going to inhibit that, so you can rock back and forth there if you have it straight on. The shoulders can come up to 90 with the butterfly joint that doesn't really move too much on this one, but just a little back and forth. Rotate all the way around. We had a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so just over 90. The wrist can twist all the way around, and it's supposed to flex back and forth. Now, we had issues once again with this figure with we couldn't get really any of the wrist joints loose. Like, we heated it up, we tried to like cut it out to make sure it wasn't like stuck or anything, and no matter what we did, we could not get it to bend. So his hand just moves a little back and forth there, unfortunately. But he's got an ab crunch sort of hidden back in there, so he can crunch forward and crunch back. So nice crunching there, and he should also crunch a little at the waist and twist around there. Hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So once again, had issues with the figure. Of course, not nearly as many with this figure as the others. Just the wrist was pretty much the only thing. Now the officer comes with a lot of accessories. So first we get a knife. So we have this little knife here with the nice thin blade and stuff, which looks pretty cool. And this we can stick into the thigh holster here, so it slides right down in there. He comes with a pistol, so he has this little pistol, which looks sort of realistic and almost looks like a Ruger. Just a nice little pistol there that's got an awesome design. So with this, we can stick it into the holster. On the side, I think it'll slide down right in here. Yeah, it just slides all the way down in there, so that's cool. And while we're on the back, he does come with this little holder for a gun. So nice gray design with the Cobra logo, so we can slide this in his back. So it just slides right in there, and you can put it at angles or whatever you want to do. And for that, we do get this little submachine gun. So this little gun here that has a nice big magazine that sticks off the side. With this, we can remove the magazine, take this gun, slide it down into the holder, so it'll stick on his back there, and then take the extra magazine, and we have a little slot back here that we can take and slide this into. Kind of hard to get it back in there, especially up against his back and stuff, but it fits right in there. So there we have that gun stored around. And finally, he comes with a rifle as well. So this nice all black rifle with the green handle on there, and it does have an accessory piece like this flashlight or whatever. I already have it in, and then of course the magazine as well. And so with those, you could probably remove those and stick the magazine back in the same holder. The flashlight piece gets stored in there, and I assume with all those off, you could store this gun into the holder there as well. But let's go and just put this into his hand. So there, the officer has the gun in his hands, and he does have the hinge hand on the left, so it does sort of make him left-handed, but he has trigger fingers on each hand, so you can technically put it in whichever one you want. And since the hands don't really hinge because of the weirdness of them, you can really just use either hand that you want there. But there is the Python Patrol officer all kitted out now. Now with like the Cobra Trooper stuff, we usually always buy two, so here we have two of them here. And then we also have the Cobra officer and like the normal version there, so exact same figure, just pretty much repainted and stuff for the Python Patrol version. And now having the Python Patrol officer, we can add him in with the other Python Patrols of the Viper and the Bat there. So there we have our three Cobra Python Patrol figures of the Viper, Bat, and now officer. So it looks pretty cool there together. It's kind of weird how they all like change and don't really match too much, but it's still cool to have them all there together. And finally, we have the Tiger Force Duke with the Ram Cycle. So we'll move the Ram Cycle out of the way. But here we have Duke, of course, real name Conrad Hauser, and he's the field commander and second in command for the G.I. Joe team, again in his Tiger Force design. So it looks almost exactly like the other Duke, just repainted. So he's got this green shirt on now. So his like what was tan shirt, of course I'll show you that, is now all green. So like this olive green color with a red color around the neck. And then he's got tiger stripe pants on, but they're like an orangish, like brown orange color with the black tiger stripes on it. But everything else is going to be exactly exactly the same, like design-wise and stuff, just colors is the only thing difference between this Duke and the older one. But overall, he looks pretty cool here and awesome to have in the Tiger Force version as well. But we'll go do his movements, so his head can twist all the way around, and he can look down that far and up that far. So again, not the best movements, and the two neck joints working together there to get the movements. The shoulders can come up to 90 with the butterfly joint, again a little bit back and forth, and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. He's got the ab crunch in the middle there, so crunch forward, crunch back, it's nice crunching, as well should have a little bit of a crunch at the waist and twist around there. The hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist around, should be able to go all the way around, but you have the thigh holster to worry about. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, almost kicking his butt. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. Now overall, we have less issues with him, like no stiffness or anything like that. The foot was a little bit stiff, but I do have issues standing him, which seems like the old Joes. So this is how the Joes were originally, which with it being Duke, isn't really surprising. They probably just reused the old body, repainted. So it's not surprising that I have issues getting him to stand. Obviously it's not horrible, but I do have just some issues with this right foot. But overall, I like his design. Like, I wish this shirt would have been more of a brighter green. I feel it'd fit in a lot more, but I like his pants and stuff with the tiger stripes. That looks cool. But accessory wise, first we get his backpack. So we have his backpack here with some canteens and the shovel and stuff, which is pretty cool. And we've seen this before. So let's put this on his back. So it slides right in there. Of course, you have to fight around this stupid strap. And he also comes with a set of binoculars. So you can give Duke a set of binoculars if you want, which he should have a little hole, here on his belt that you can pop the little peg on the back of the binoculars, pop that right in. So it'll still right there on the back of his belt. And then weapon wise, first we get a pistol. So we have this, like, again, futuristic pistol, again, from the earlier figures. So we have that we can stick into the thigh holster here. So it just slides right in there. And finally, he comes with this submachine gun. So this older looking submachine gun, which I think is one of Duke's like original guns and stuff, or original design. It has the magazine you can take out. But let's go and just put this into his hand. And there's Duke with that gun there, which looks pretty cool as well. So awesome to have this version of Duke with the Tiger Force. But of course, he does also come with the Ram Cycle. So we have the Ram Cycle that we've seen before, just with the Tiger Force design. So it's got this nice paint job where it's mostly this all orange and yellow color. So orange at the front, white at the very front where it has Joe there. Of course, the Tiger Force logo. I like the whole, what looks almost like a shark mouth with just the mouth, but could be a tiger, would make more sense there. Going into the yellow, again, with the black like tiger stripes. And then the rest of it just looks like the Ram Cycle we've seen before. It just had red handle and gauges piece there. And then some red spread throughout it. And then even a little sidecar with the gun that you can pop out and stuff as well. And then again, that's just another little attachment on there, which looks cool. But again, nice to have this in the Tiger Force design with the colors and stuff, which is cool. And of course, we've seen this figure before with the Breaker and Ram Cycle. So it's going to be the exact same motorcycle, obviously, just it goes from the normal like Army military cars to the Tiger Force version there, which is pretty cool. So awesome to have that. And then again, with Duke, we do have that newer Duke. So there was the original version, and then this is the remake where it makes him look more, or I should say a little less awkward, with a lot less gold and stuff on him. So here's the newer version of Duke, which again is probably what this figure is based off. There's those two versions of Duke, and like I said, I do really like this new Duke just because of the pants. Just don't like the shirt collar as much, but we can put Duke on the Ram Cycle, so let's try that. So there is Duke on the Ram Cycle, and of course it's hard to get him to fit on and properly and all that. And unfortunately, our Ram Cycle, like, this handle is like really loose and almost feels like it's falling off, so not sure what's up with that, but we're able to get him on him. So there's Duke on the Ram Cycle, so that looks really cool. So Duke there on the Ram Cycle for Tiger Force, and with that we can add in our other Tiger Force members. And there we have a Tiger Force team, of course, with our Wave 1 Outback, and then from today, Bazooka and Recondo with the Duke on Ram Cycle there. So that looks pretty cool, having our Tiger Force team starting to grow. Well, that's me for the Wave 2 of the Target exclusive G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force and Python Patrol figures. So pretty cool wave. Like I said, I'm disappointed with how many issues we're having with the figures, because all three of the main wave figures we've had issues with today. Didn't really have many issues with the Duke and Ram Cycle, except for the Ram Cycle's handle. But other than that, it was pretty decent. But the rest of the three had issues with the legs and feet on both Recondo and Bazooka, and the hands of the Python Patrol officer. So again, not sure what's going on with G.I. Joe, like I said, between these three. And then those recent pictures of Falcon, how weird and strange that looks. So not sure what's going on there, but hopefully whatever's going on with the classified series can quickly be fixed. But overall, I do really like the figures. I really love the look, especially Bazooka and Recondo. Those are definitely my two favorites just because of the way they look. The officer's okay, just think his colors don't really match too well, especially with the other Python Patrol, and then the Ram Cycle's awesome, but Duke's just okay. But I can't say any of these figures are just absolutely horrible. So let me know what you thought of the figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.